know what? I'd like
power outage.
I really hope so.
All right.
He knows.
So we've been talking about Southeast Asian religions, and we've done Buddhism and Hinduism and Shintoism. We're going to talk about one more belief system. It's not really a religion. It's called Confucianism. And it's named after a Chinese philosopher whose real name was Kong the philosopher, but in the West we've always called him Confucius, okay? So when you see those Confucius say things, this is the guy they're talking about, all right? So write it down, the philosophy of Confucianism.
What's the laptop is dying?
Okay.
Yo, we should put that
Dang, I really thought about bringing my charger, but then I decided no one would need it.
Okay, so again, Confucianism is more of a philosophy than a religion. Every Chinese person is a Confucian because the ideas that this guy pushed through become the basis for the whole of the society, okay? Super important stuff. As early as 121 BC, so about 2100 years ago, this became the dominant philosophy of Chinese government, the official guiding practice of China, okay? They're going to follow these principles all the way up into the modern era. And Confucianism is it's kind of instructions on morality and how you behave in society and how you behave in conjunction with other people. There are different rules for how you behave among equals, how you behave to an older brother, to a wife, to a child, to a father. Everybody, there's always all these different rules. And it's a very strict society. And this is part of what has made China so successful, is because they have these very strict rules and they tend to follow them. It allows society to operate very smoothly. The downside is sometimes it makes a society that seems very static, not growing, not very dynamic, but still interesting to me.
What about the people that make anime?
Anime is more Japanese, but yeah, they do it in China too.
You know what that is, Mr. Roberts?
Do I know what that is?
I said you know what that is.
Well, yeah, I came around when I was a kid.
Japan or anime?
Yeah, Japan's a little older than me. Just about got it?
Just about there, hold on.
I'm on the last one.
I wanna go home.
I know.
You say that.
Well, it wouldn't be one of Dave's school if I didn't get to hear those shining words from you. She comes in here, smiles at me so pretty and says, "I hate this place, I want to go home."
This is my sanctuary. This is my safe haven.
Crazy.
Yeah, because
Y'all got it?
your house is anything.
All right, so the area where Confucianism is big is over here in this blue area. So this is the part of Asia that we're talking about in this region, okay? So not even all of China. A lot of China is Buddhist, but this area is going to be very Confucian. Kind of like Shinto, though, you can be both. You can be a Confucian and a Buddhist, a Confucian and a Christian. You can mix those together, okay?
Wait, can I be Baptist and Hinduism?
I don't think those two mix well because one is monotheistic and one is poly. But you
Okay,
could be Baptist and Shinto or Baptist and Confucian.
I am Baptist, but I want to believe in reincarnation.
Well, then you're not Baptist. That's a totally different belief.
It is crazy. I told them the same thing.
All right, so Confucius was born about the year 550 BCE. You can shorten this stuff, guys. Born about the year 550 BCE. And this is a time period, we call this the Warring Period, where much of the land, much of China, was being controlled by tribal warlords. And they were fighting against each other. And this guy provided a set of rules that kind of civilized things. The comparison, I would say, we haven't seen it yet, but we will a little later on, is Confucianism did to China kind of what the Catholic Church did for Europe in providing some rules to stop the bloodshed, or reduce the bloodshed, if you will. He believed that the only way to bring peace to China, or peace to the world, was for people to behave with good character and virtue. That's the key to Confucianism. It's all about character and virtue. It's one of those things that's also become very big in the martial arts in the last few years. They'll use Confucianism a lot in their studies. Very strict orders, very strict rules that you have to follow. If you can get the first two, I'm happy.
I love how it was typing in all caps this whole time. Now I can't change it from all caps. I have to delete it and retype it.
No, you can.
Leave it in all
How do I do
caps.
that? No.
Yeah, you almost made them delete the whole thing.
Ah.
Just about got it?
No. Mr. Alvarez, why can't two Chinese people have a white baby?
Because they're not white. Basics
No.
of biology.
It's because two blondes can't make a white man.
That's awful.
What
That's
is
awful.
I just realized what shirt Elijah's wearing, and it makes the joke he just said 20 times better.
the SpongeBob shirt?
All right, y'all got it? Okay, moving on. This is Confucius,
Nah, you joke.
or Kong the philosopher. Either title is fine. Again, if you were in China, they call him Kong the philosopher. Here, we usually call him Confucius.
He looks
Same
slow.
person. Dude,
Why does he look like
It's a painting, that's all. It's a painting.
get the first and the last one here. So this is a society that's built heavily on tradition, strict rules that you've got to follow. There's not a God per se, which is why Confucianism allows you to have another religion while you're doing this. Confucius wasn't a god. He was just providing a framework for you to live under.
He's not a, oh, I thought you said he wasn't a guy. I wasn't what to say.
He wasn't a god. He was a guy. He was a girl, he'd have been very, very unattractive.
Heck, they probably wouldn't have listened to him.
What's interesting is they believe that every person has a place in society, and that place is important. I like this idea. It's the idea that you are not more important than someone else because maybe your job is more, acceptable. The doctor is not more important than the garbage man. They both have a place in society. Okay? There's a real value to that.
But do they get the same wage?
Well, later on, when China shifts to communism, it becomes very easy to do that because of this. But here it's about respect and teaching people or treating people with that respect. They do see 5 relationships in society. Everything kind of falls into one of these relationships. Ruler and subject, so ruler and ruled. Father and son, husband and wife, older brother, younger brother, friend and friend. Okay? And all of these you are expected to treat differently. Friend to friend you treat as equals. But older brother, younger brother, the younger brother is expected to take the advice and listen to the older brother. The older brother is expected to protect the younger brother and never mislead them. Fathers and sons. Fathers are expected to be, to care for somebody and be the wisdom and the control. But when they get older, the son is expected to take care of the father and make sure he's not suffering in older age. Women are expected to be subservient to their husbands at this time period. But again, on the other side of that, the husband is expected to dedicate his life to taking care of his wife and giving her what she needs and providing and treating her very, very well. So there's a turnaround to all this. You get something, but you have to give something. Okay?
Did they have money back then?
Yeah, they had money back then.
You know, I just realized none of these like major people that we've seen so far are just girls.
No, we're not gonna see a dominant female till the Middle Ages.
Dang.
Queen
Right.
around.
We're gonna get a couple of really tough queens that are gonna be good. And when I mean say really tough queens, I'm not talking about Freddie Mercury and Elton John. These are different queens. Y'all got it?
Laughing at nothing.
Get this second bullet here. Y'all all know the golden rule in Christianity, right? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? Well, Confucius believes in this golden rule of behavior. The second bullet's the important one. What you do not like when done unto yourself, do not do unto others.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. If you don't like it, don't do it. Good advice, huh? So this is a belief system based on good deeds and morality. Just believe that if you treat people well, if you follow these rules, if you take these steps that are necessary, you'll be rewarded for it. Not necessarily rewarded in the afterlife because, again, it's not a religion, it's a philosophy. They think you'll be rewarded in the here and now. You're treating people well, you're doing things properly. People are gonna treat you better because of it. And that makes sense. This seems like a pretty simple philosophy, right? Does to me. Pretty common sense. He wrote a book called The Analects where he put all these wise sayings. You know where you see most of those wise sayings now? Fortune cookies. That's where they put them.
They were not even true.
Sure they're true.
Don't say that.
You just have to.
They tend to be very vague.
In about 24 hours, you will have $1 million in your pocket.
Yeah, that's not what they say. They say things like, a significant change will happen in your life.
And
That's
then-
true.
And then
That's always
obviously-
true. Everybody got this? No? Need to back up? Okay.
I'm just doing a quote.
Okay. What you do not like when done unto yourself, do not do unto others.
What you do like to be dead?
Yes, what you would be yourself, don't undo to others.
Here's an example of a Confucian temple dedicated to Kong the philosopher. That's kind of an example of the architectural style of this time period. All right, that gets us through this. You can put your notes away, and I want you to get in groups of two. You need to have one computer between you.